Devolver Digital at E3 2019. Their presentation was definitely something. It was fun to watch. It was definitely fun to watch. I divide it into two categories if I had to give it a rating though. I can't rate it on the same scale as the other ones just because it's so different from the other presentations. And the two categories I'd rate it on would be the actual content of the presentation, the actual reveals, and the format of the presentation itself. And the reason why is because I'd rate one much higher than the other, which I'll get into. This won't be that long of a video because there wasn't too many reveals in this presentation, and it was a pretty short showcase. So before I get straight into the Devolver stuff, I'd like to issue a couple corrections to previous scores I gave some other E3 conferences. I'm the type of person who needs to think about things for a while before I really understand what they're about, and even when I think about it and work out my opinion on it and look up some more things, I'm often not correct the first time or even the second time. I have to think about it for a long time, but as of right now, I feel like I need to adjust some of the scores from my previous conferences, specifically Microsoft's conference and Bethesda's. Because I gave Microsoft an A- previously. Looking back on it, I think that was a little bit too high, and I did get a negative comment on that video, but I just want to say that's not why I'm adjusting it. I'm mostly an optimistic, positive person. I see something, I get hyped about it right away. I want to be positive about things, and I really like hearing new things and watching game trailers and stuff. But looking back on Microsoft conference, just from a consumer standpoint, from looking at what Microsoft has been doing that's exclusive to them, the conference didn't have that many exclusives, especially not big name exclusives. It had Halo, but that was already revealed before. It had Gears, but that was already revealed before. It had a Forza update, which is a game that already released. And most of the other games that they showed were indie games. And a lot of games didn't have gameplay shown either. Most things were just cinematic trailers or reveal trailers and things like that. Which, it makes sense because at E3 nowadays, like, people are making so many games now that they don't have gameplay ready by E3, which is a big reason why Sony didn't come this year. But it's still annoying that there's not gameplay for a lot of things. And it was really fast paced, but there's a lot of indie games on there that are going to multiple platforms. For example, Minecraft Dungeons was something I was really hyped about. I really enjoy Minecraft, and this game looks really cool. But it's also coming to basically every other platform, including Nintendo Switch. So it's not really a Xbox exclusive. So because of all these things, I'm going to bring down Microsoft's E3 score from A- to a B. And I know that's a pretty big decrease, but it's still a good score. I think that's a really good score. And that leaves room for them to grow in different years or decrease in different years, because another reason why I want to bring it down a bit is I feel like next year's for Xbox is going to be much better than this year's, or at least a bit better, because they're going to go a full spiel about their new console and about the new Halo and stuff like that next year. So as of right now, a B for Microsoft. And for Bethesda's, that one needs to go down also, because looking back on it, that conference was quite boring. And not only that, but it was annoying with some people in the crowd. Of course they can't control that, but there's like memes going on now with all the cheering in there. So, and also they spent way too much time talking about mobile games, and I think that's a big no-no at E3. E3 is about the biggest games people are most hyped about, and a lot of people got really annoyed at a lot of the reveals and updates that Bethesda has been doing. The best reveals there were just the three games I mentioned before: Ghostwire Tokyo, Deathloop, and of course, the new Doom trailer. But other than that, it was a pretty crappy presentation, and it was really boring to watch. If I wasn't watching it with my friends, I think I would have gotten quite bored watching it. We had fun because I was watching it with people though, so that kind of brought it up a little bit for me initially, but looking back on it, I give it a D. A D above EA Play, because EA Plays was horrible, but it was not a good press conference, I'll say. And I feel like they could do a lot better, and I think they will do a lot better in the future once the new console generation is out. But as of right now, I feel like they didn't have too much to really show in terms of new stuff, and because of that, it was mostly just updates and mobile games, which was not good. Now that I've done those corrections, let's move on to Devolver Digital's E3 showcase. And for those who follow Devolver Digital's E3, they almost have their own DDCU, Devolver Digital Cinematic Universe at this point. It's like a continuous series with every E3. And they're based off of satirical skits, basically, comedic satirical skits, criticizing or satirizing the games industry currently. And they usually focus on a different aspect of the games industry. This one was satirizing the direct-to-video, or whatever it was called, like the Nintendo Direct format of advertising games and showing game announcements and stuff. is basically attacking Nintendo with their Nintendo Directs, and also other companies like Sony and Microsoft, which have been copying Nintendo Directs in a way to limited success. And it was really funny. Like, I enjoyed the presentation so much. And I think the best way I could talk about everything that happened at Devolver Digital is to read through my Word document that I was typing, which normally I've been summarizing what I've heard at the E3 conference in a Word document. For Devolver Digital's, it was more of a stream of consciousness type thing. I was just putting in random text about what the heck was going on in that presentation. So I'm going to read through that, and just like, I don't even know how I'm going to read through. I'm just going to read through. But whenever I get to an actual announcement, I'll tell you guys about it. So, at the start, of course, Nina Struthers comes in here. And let's start off my Word document. Nina is online. Nina mother effing Struthers is here. Nope. No live musical performances. We're ripping up E3. We're going back to being nobodies. Wait, but Linda has something better with her video project. It's gonna be a video! Devolver Direct! They're gonna do the press conference in Nina Struthers' mind because they can't revive her right now, so they have to do it there. But who the heck is this guy that just showed up? What the heck is this? What's going on? Why am I here? Nina just killed a man. Nice. Then there was a new trailer for a Mediatonic game, which was Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. This is a really strange game, but funnily enough, it seems interesting to me. I like Devolver Digital's games. They're always so unique in concept and well done. Like, I don't think Devolver Digital has put out a really horrible, bad game. They tend to pick which games they publish really well. So this game looks cool. It's like one of those game shows you'd see, where you have tons of people trying to make it to the end, and over time they just get knocked out by different obstacles, and eventually only one will make it to the end. It's like a race to the finish, that type of thing. And it seems pretty nice. You know, it's very cartoony, very silly, but it could be a lot of fun. And it's coming out in 2020 on PS4 and PC. And then, continuing with the skits, there's another random guy. His name is Zane Stoltz, the VP of Gray Market Distribution. Ooh, I like Gray Market. At Devolver. What a nice guy? I feel like Nina's about to murder some fool. Next, Nina showed off Devolver Bootleg. Oh no, I think that was Zane Stoltz that showed off Devolver Bootleg or something. I don't know. It's apparently the world's first gray market launcher that rips off Devolver's games. This is weird. Like, you go to devolverbootleg.com and it links you to the Steam page. Like, this is a real game, but it's not really one game. It's a collection of games that are just rip-offs of Devolver Digital published games. Some of the games in this collection include things like Enter the Gun Dungeon, which is a parody of Enter the Gungeon, Hotline Milwaukee as opposed to Hotline Miami, Ape Out Jr., which is a parody, I assume, of Donkey Kong Jr., but it's not actually a parody of that game, just the name is a reference to it. Really, it's just a weird version of Ape Out. There's Shooty Boots, which is a parody of Downwell, Super Absolver Mini Turbo Fighting Championship, which is Absolver, Catsylvania, which is Castlevania with cats, Piku Biku Ball Stars, which is a parody of Piku Niku, and Luft Trousers, which is a parody of Luft Rousers. This is such a weird game, but it's already available on Steam for $4.94, normally $5, but it's a whole 1% off, so grab it while it's on sale. And it has 97% positive ratings already, so clearly it must be a great game. Moving on, that looks like that guy, Zane Stoltz, is now dead to some sort of alien creature, but now Nina's got a new game review in reference to it called Carrion. And the Carrion Beast is here. Showed up a little bit too early, but Nina's trying to curse at him. Nina is not allowed to curse. She keeps on saying fiddlesticks instead because this is a direct. You can't curse in a direct. Going on to the game though, Carrion is a new game by Phobia Game Studio that actually looks really cool. It's a reverse horror game with pixel graphics in a way, but it looks pretty detailed, where you play as a monster that grows and grows as you eat more things. And instead of being horrified, it's a reverse horror game, as I said. So you're the monster trying to terrify and murder all of the people and creatures in the game. It looks pretty cool, and it's coming to PC and console in 2020. Next, Margaret Ludlow, the operations assistant, suddenly appeared and then disappeared. I don't know why she was there. And they allowed Nina to curse at least one time, so that's the one curse word she was allowed in this presentation. Nina went on to give a very inspirational message about how Devolver does not talk about infinite potential, does not look forward to the future, does not try innovating and evolving the games industry. Instead, we do more. We look back. We go backwards in time to fulfill our ultimate goal, to monetize and to make money. They're very honest about it, I must say. And now they're setting aside all of their hog swaddle and setting their sights on a new market. The golden age of video games. The arcade market. That's right. They are legitimately, like, they had to reiterate over and over again, this is real. They're making an arcade machine called Enter the Gungeon, House of the Gun Dead. This is so dumb. It's a parody of House of the Undead, except with Enter the Gungeon theme, and it's coming in 2020 to arcades and to houses if you're going to buy it for several $1,000s. It actually looks like a good game though. Like, even though it's a joke game, it's also a good game, which is classic Devolver Digital stuff. And they tell you to steal your mom's credit cards to buy it, so be sure to don't do that, but it will be available to buy fairly soon. I think you can pre-order it fairly soon, they said. And then Linda from marketing finally took over Nina's mind completely with her ultimate goal to force Nina to do these direct-to-video conferences every year from now on. And she quickly moved on to force Nina to give another reveal of an expansion for the Messenger Picnic Panic, which is a vacation, a ninja vacation expansion with voodoo magic, callbacks, bosses, and all sorts of things to expand an already great game, which is coming in July 11th to Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PC. And then finally they did a little trailer again for My Friend Pedro, the game they revealed last year, since it's being released very soon, in 10 days, on June 20th, coming to Switch and PC. And then Linda glitched the Matrix, and Nina has been taken over wholeheartedly, so now they're going to be able to deliver advertisements directly to our mainframe, using the Nintendo method of Devolver Directs. This was such a fun presentation. Like, me and my friends really enjoyed watching this stuff. In fact, I would go so far as to give the fun, like, the amount of fun that they gave and the way they made people want to keep watching it. Like, this is the least bored I felt in any presentation so far this E3, and any presentation I've had at E3, though I don't really remember the past years that much, but this was a really fun presentation. So I give the format, or the fun of the presentation, an A. That was a whole lot of fun. And I know that I don't like to, I know I shouldn't give things such high ratings, but keep in mind, I'm not rating the games here. This is just like, this is a separate rating, not to compare to the other studios. This is just for how much fun I had watching it. And I give the amount of fun I had an A. But as for the content, this is the real rating to compare to the other studios. For the content of the games and the quality of the announcements, I give it a C. I give it a C. The games looked good. I think that the games look good. Things like Fall Guys and Carrion looked like really nice new games. Devolver Bootleg's a parody, but apparently it's a pretty good parody, looking at the reviews on Steam. And then they had the arcade game, an expansion for the Messenger and My Friend Pedro once again. Some of that stuff was already revealed before, like My Friend Pedro. The Messenger was already released. But even so, the expansions and the new games look pretty swell. There wasn't much of it though. There wasn't much stuff, and even though the games were funny, a lot of them were parodies and not like what you think of with a new game. So because of that, I give it a C for now. It was a fun conference to watch, and I'd recommend you guys watch it, if nothing else than just for the entertainment value of it. But yeah, that's it for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and understand the corrections I made to the past studio scores, and I'll continue to cover the PC gaming show and some other things going on today. I think Ubisoft and Square Enix are also today. And there's also one for Kinda Funny Games. I'm not sure if I'll do one for PC Gaming and Kinda Funny. I might combine those two into one video though, if I feel like it. If there's anything of worth talking about in there. If not, I'll just skip over them. Anyway, I'll see you all next time.